Hi, welcome to Entertain This. This is a podcast about movies, TV shows, and video games. Today we have an interview with Alexander Sharp. He's the new director and editor of a movie called Wired Shut, coming out on November 30th on Amazon.
Oh, should I disconnect the Bluetooth?
Yeah, sure.
Buttons.
So many of them.
Flick the switch.
Hey, this is Entertain This, a podcast about movies, TV shows, and video games. And with us, we have Alex Sharp, director of Wired Shut.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Nice to be here.
Really appreciate
It's great to be here.
it. So let's just jump in. We all watched the movie. We all enjoyed it thoroughly.
Nice.
I'm going to ask about how long of a development period, like how long in the works has this film been for you?
September 2019, I got a text message from the writer and my producing partner, Peter.
Yeah.
And it had the log line, the title, the genre, and it all went from there. In December of 2019, just a couple months later, he had a script. And we were like, we knew we were coming out of I was driving back from a film festival in Washington for a short, which we took around the world. But because it was a short, we kind of were getting a little tired of
short work.
I mean, you go to a film festival and you get shoved into the short film block A on Sunday morning, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's going to come at 10 a.m. on Sunday to see Seven, the fifth of which is yours? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but all the features were like Friday night, 7 p.m., Alex Sharp's debut, or whatever it is.
Right.
And so we knew we wanted to do a feature week. So we quickly thought, well, how are we going to do it for, no money? We don't want to break the bank. So it became this idea of contained thriller, 3 characters, 1 location.
Yeah.
And quickly after December, when he sent me the script, we got started. We shot in March of, I'm sorry. Nope. Let's go back 1 year. It was September of 2018 because we shot in March of 2019.
Oh, wow.
And then we wrapped post-production in March of 2020. And the whole industry shut down.
Yeah.
So the timing was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. So you did a Kickstarter campaign to raise the funding for it?
We did a little bit on Indiegogo,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had a couple angel investors after that.
Okay, cool.
Which was great.
Cool.
Yeah. But it was made for like zero money. I mean, relatively, we had we had the budget of maybe a really, really dope music video for Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
But as far as features go, we didn't have millions, which would have been nice.
I bet. Yeah. It seemed like you did a good job pick and choosing your battles. Obviously, the 3 primary characters and the 1 location. So, how much of a struggle was that, though, from a writer's standpoint, to work within the confines of that budget limitations?
That's a good question. Peter and I had seen Cape Fear.
Okay.
Not the original. I actually haven't seen the original, which might be a sin. But I've seen the Robert De Niro, Nick Nolte, Scorsese film.
Yeah.
And I saw it pretty recently before we started writing, and I was like, my mind was blown. I didn't know. It didn't occur to me that you could build a family drama and have this gone off the deep end psycho just do sensory violence in a cat and mouse, essentially, for the final, 30 minutes?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, in Cape Fear, the story's done by the time Mac Cady comes into the house and kills the maid and kills the PI. Right. And then they're on the road, and that's it. There's no more story. It's just fun with House with Guns and some blood and knives. And so the initial script was 70 pages.
Yeah.
And it didn't even include the last part.
Yeah.
So the fun of it I mean, it was pretty, I didn't want to say it was like, I don't want to say it was like checking boxes most of the time. I mean, there was some creativity with the father-daughter relationship of it.
Right.
But the script kind of ended somewhere around when Preston takes Emmy up to the safe and leaves Reed, and then Reed burns his, he escapes the trap.
Mm-hmm.
And then the script just cuts off. And then I think Peter wrote, insert cat and mouse sequence. And then we designed that. That was the fun part. We designed that over, because I always knew we couldn't write it and then get to a house and then the whole thing changes. Because so much of what makes up a good thriller is the geography of the location.
Yeah.
If I know where the good guy is and I also know geographically where the bad guy is, that's the tension. So we wrote it all walking around the house and kind of thinking like, okay, if I was getting chased, what would I do?
That's cool. Yeah, that's a cool way to do it.
So that was really cool. That was fun. But for the most part, Peter wrote a damn good script.
Oh yeah, I got some questions about your location, but I want to ask one more question. Your development. Did you write the script and pre-pro the movie to curtail towards a specific film festival or anything, or did you just make a general feature-length film and you didn't have it positioned for any specific festival or anything in general?
Well, we certainly positioned. We wanted to take it to festivals.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea was to take a feature to festivals. We didn't have any one in mind, but we definitely looked at like festivals that are specific to the thriller horror genre.
Uh-huh.
I think South by Southwest is one that, what's that movie? Oh man, I'm forgetting the title of the film. It's like this indie movie where she's deaf.
She's deaf.
Either deaf or mute. I'm not sure.
Was it the 88 minutes?
What was that?
There's a movie called 88 Minutes where like it's all like completely silent. She's trying to hide through the house or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's not 88 minutes, but it's anyways. I can't remember the title to save my life, but it's really, really good. That came out of South by Southwest. So we kind of looked at those and said, I think we can fit in there. Because it's at the end of the day, it's a thriller. It's a home invasion thriller that does hang itself on the trope of he can't talk.
Right.
So that was kind of our thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fascinating plot mechanic you implemented. It was really enjoyable.
We hadn't seen it before. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel, certainly for my first movie. I wanted to just try and do something that would be fun, but I did want it to feel fresh somehow. And I certainly hadn't seen a guy with his jaw wired shut before in a thriller. So
cool.
But no, when we finished, obviously COVID-19 hit, and so we weren't prepared to go to festivals because all the ones that were still open were doing everything via Zoom. And I'm sure they made it work. I just didn't see how that. So we just kind of sat on it, and a distributor picked it up, and here we are.
Yeah, you got to retool your post-production process a lot longer than most people would get. So I'm sure you probably were able to tweak some things and make stuff better during the shutdown. We didn't really touch much. No.
We had from March of 2019 when we wrapped the shooting to March of 2020. I mean, we had a year to do the edit, a color grade, sound, slap a score on it, and VFX, and that was plenty of time. I mean, I don't know that movies take a year to do post, but we were doing it purely independently, so it was kind of, I mean, I did the first cut myself on my desk. So, I mean, it's like we were on our own timeline.
Yeah, and you were the, co-writer or story. Did you help develop the story? Did you actually write parts of the script?
I didn't write parts of the script. Peter wrote everything, pen to paper, but I definitely Peter threw me a story credit because we talked about it a lot. We developed it.
Yeah.
I'm probably responsible for the running around with guns and knives at the end because, of course, we didn't. I said Peter wrote something, and it was pretty good. But I said, look, we don't know where we're going to shoot.
Yeah.
And the geography of the location is going to dictate what this sequence is.
Right.
And lo and behold, we got in and there was a sauna in the basement. It's like, that's great. The frosted glass looks brilliant. Let's do this.
Well,
so,
what was his location that you found? Was it somebody's house or?
It was great. It was like a dream situation.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I knew the contractor and real estate agent's family friend of this house that was on the market in West Vancouver. And it was this 3-story mansion.
Wow.
And it hadn't been sold. And they were taking it off the market for the month of March 2019. And so I called them and I said, hey, do you think I can get in there with like 10 people, a camera, and shoot a feature film? And they were like, oh, my God, why not?
Yeah.
What's the movie about? And I said, oh, it's a drama between a father and a daughter. I wasn't about to tell them that we were going to shoot a guy and send him down a flight of stairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could tell you were respectful to the location. The blood, managed to hit cardboard and stuff like that in the floor and things like that.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
But that's crazy. I can't believe there's a mansion that's got an elevator in it and all that stuff that was just perfect for your story. Did you just use those elements as you discovered them, or did you hope for it?
Yeah, we definitely did. It worked exactly that way. I mean, there were certain things in the script that, odds are you're going to find. The house, any house surely has a space that would be an office. And so that became Reed's office. Any house has a bedroom, and that, you know what I mean? And the kitchen. And then it became about how to stage it between the 3 stories and how to introduce the elevator. Yeah, it really was built around the house. And what's funny about it is the house now has been sold, and they have no idea.
No,
and
people were murdered in that house.
I really want them to rent it on Amazon one day and just go, wait a minute.
Yeah, maybe. So I noticed for your, I guess your advertisement for Kickstarter and stuff like that, you had a very Hitchcockian kind of appeal. Like you yourself was the quote unquote Hitchcock character, correct?
Yeah,
Advertising
so
a movie.
The fundraiser campaign,
right? And I was kind of thinking this film would have more of a Hitchcock-esque kind of take on it. Was that a plan at any point, or did you implement it and I just didn't pick it up?
I love Hitchcock. I love Rear Window. I love Psycho. I remember my mom showing The Bird to me, which scared the living crap out of me as a kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how, I feel like as an adult, maybe it's a little, the effects maybe didn't age that well, but right. I love what he did with tension.
Yeah.
Was he an influence on the movie? Not really. I don't really watch things and try to pull and, to really, sort of do an homage. I kind of like to let that all fade away and then just focus on what this script is.
Right. And develop your own kind of
what
feel.
Is the most. Yeah. I remember Alex Garland for Annihilation, which I love. He adapted the book, Annihilation, but he didn't adapt the book. I was listening to an interview with him. He was like, I didn't actually adapt the book. I had adapted a memory of the book. He adapted the memory he had of reading the book. So he didn't go back and read it again and kind of go page for page and restructure it for a 90-page script. He just kind of wrote a script based on, his experience having read the book however long ago. And I always kind of love that. I love, I'm sure people will, look at things and go, well, that's very Hitchcock. But and I'll sort of blindly take credit for that. 'Cause why not? But I don't know that it really was on a conscious level for me. Like, oh my God, this is Hitchcock.
Yeah. I think it was a smart plan to kind of peel it back, and try and make it your own. But what about from a narrative standpoint? There was you kept mentioning metamorphosis for the main character. and I wonder if you were pushing Kafka, or your writer was, or was that just a happy coincidence? What was that?
I'll let Peter take credit for that one. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis.
Kafka wrote Metamorphosis. It's about a guy who wakes up. He's very isolated in his apartment, and he's got a lot of personal issues from his life. And he wakes up to discover he's a giant cockroach. So, it's a great story.
All I'll say is it was totally intentional.
There you go. It's a great read, so I highly recommend it.
Great.
I like the idea of the silent protagonist. How challenging was that for your actor to try and convey so much emotion without talking?
It was really funny. At first I was like, oh God, how the heck are we going to cast this? Because who's going to be interested in a role where they're the lead, but they have zero lines?
Yeah.
But it actually was the opposite.
Yeah.
I think that was just my initial paranoia about it. Because on some level, there's the thing of like seducing an actor to get to do it beyond what you want the movie to be. Right. It needs to be appealing for an actor to do. So I was starting to think like, oh no one's going to want to do this because they're just, it's all. But it is. It's actually incredibly difficult.
Yeah, very much. And he nailed it. That actor was very talented. Every nuance that he portrayed with his emotions, it was very well delivered. So
yeah,
very talented.
He's incredible. Blake Stadel, he's amazing. He really it was always about not overdoing it.
Right.
You start to get into like Buster Keaton if you're because that can be instinctive as well. It's like, oh my God, I have no lines, so I really got to push this look, right? I really got to push the eyebrows raising or whatever it is. But he did a brilliant job of internalizing everything. We didn't do that many takes with him.
Really?
No. I kind of just thought, and the notes that I did have after each take were very, very small.
And it's got to be a challenge for the other actors, like his daughter. Emmy. For her to react to a silent protagonist like that the entire time must have been interesting as well. Yeah.
No, they had a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun doing that together. It's really funny. This is sort of an anecdote, but the Emmy's my sister.
Oh wow!
And
she's very talented.
And she's incredible. She's honestly incredible. And they met on that movie Wired Shut, and then they went their separate ways. And it was like, nice job, pat on the back. Hopefully, catch you around. And then Natalie got a Lifetime movie called Baby Monitor Murders. And she played this babysitter, and lo and behold, she stepped on set, and there was Blake Stadel playing the cop in the script. And they were like, "Oh my God,
that's awesome!"
I had the most fun. Selfishly, I have to say, I had the most fun with Betash Fazlali and doing, a heightened, complete, and utter psychopath.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about him in just a minute. I don't want to leave your sister's character just yet. I got some questions about that. Now that I know that she's your sister, it obviously makes sense because typically, especially for new filmmakers, they like to push female objectification and sex appeal and stuff like that for to try and get some extra bonus points for their movie being, seen and noted. I gotta say, it's very much an appreciation to not see that in your film. There wasn't any male gaze as far as I could tell, and you didn't frame the camera weird. And if you want to call that weird, creepy sex scene, a sex scene, it was very tastefully well done. So, was that your plan from the get-go, or once your sister was casting this role, you just thought it would be too weird, or what?
No, yeah. Inherently on the page, Emmy is so shut down, closed off, heavy eyeliner, you're not going to mess with me. And so, and she's in a, leather biker jacket and,
right.
and whatever it is. It's like, she's already, the characters are already so closed off, emotionally. So that, it never really crossed my mind. You're right. The closest it ever kind of gets, but even then not really, is the choke,
right.
the sex choke scene.
Right. But even then it wasn't
pre-sex.
It wasn't
choke
even
scene.
It wasn't even like a sex scene to try and showcase erotica or anything like that. It was more of like ooh, this is weird and creepy and wrong kind of thing, And I thought that was portrayed well. Yeah. So
thank you. For me, it's just like what's the most interesting in terms of what chess pieces I have to work with in terms of the characters. I mean, it wouldn't have been interesting at all for me to frame, and I don't even think it occurred to me to frame those POVs any lower or wider to include some cleavage or something like that. I mean, it that shooting that scene definitely got a little weird for everyone on set.
I'm sure it did.
Here I am going. I mean, we didn't roll sound because we didn't need it. So I was talking the whole time, and I was like, okay, now you look into his eyes.
Now he's gonna choke
This is the person you wanted to be with. And everyone, you could feel everyone in the room going, what? It was fun.
Do you see yourself, trying to kind of maintain that sense of choice for your future films, or if you think the story calls for more of an erotic kind of take on a character, you don't have a problem with that, or do you, are you going to be more conservative?
Yeah, no. I don't know that I'm interested in straight up eroticism for the sake of it. I don't know that I'm interested in violence just for the sake of it.
Right.
I'm more interested in how those elements can play into a larger message.
Right.
And I didn't need the eroticism tool. I didn't need that tool. But no, I'm not eroticism averse necessarily. I'm just more interested in it. It can't just be that, because at that point and I've definitely seen movies where it's pretty indulgent, and I'm sitting there going, okay, what else do we got?
Right.
Are we doing anything, or is this just pornography?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I do definitely. I think that's a big hurdle for most new filmmakers, for most indie filmmakers, is they think sex sells and that's what they're going to push.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that sometimes they get a pretty girl that they cast for the role, and that's how they get known as. And I hope people like you get seen for other things. Just because you have a good story to tell and you do it tastefully. So
thank you very much.
Well, let's move on to your antagonist. What was that actor's name again? Could you tell me, please?
Yeah, Betash Fazlali. He's Iranian and Italian. I think his mom is Iranian and his dad's Italian, and so Betash is his, Iranian given name, and then Fazlali is this Italian last name from his father. It's fantastic. I mean, he's so cool.
Yeah, he has a lot of energy.
I just think he's so cool.
I was getting exhausted watching him work. It seemed like he had a lot of talent to give. Did he struggle at any point with the stuff that he had to do?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most work. And, I'm not going to shy away from this one. It was very in the forefront of my mind for Preston, for Peter and I both. We loved Max Cady.
Mm-hmm.
We loved that. I mean, Robert De Niro is completely nuts in Cape Fear. And it's fascinating, but it's not, and it's a tricky balance because, and we had a lot of conversations about this, because it's a villain that is somewhat grounded because it takes place on planet Earth, and it's not totally ridiculous. But at the same time, he's kind of ridiculous,
right?
And sometimes even laughable. It can be quite funny, and it's one of those villains where it's like, I'm not trying to compare myself to the Joker, but as an extreme example, the Joker is one of the best villains of all time, and it's a villain that you are equal parts terrified of and constantly entertained by. Like, you can't wait to see him again.
Yeah. Curious.
So it was a tricky tightrope act for Bay, because we called him Bay, because he couldn't be so over the top where it's like, okay, and it's like eye rollingly, but also not just straight up, the threat in the room at basically that level, to the point where he's not a memorable villain. Because I wanted people to remember Preston. I wanted people to remember, when he has the two of them tied up and he's having way too much fun in that scene. Yeah. Just the immense power that he has. It's a power high when he's got them tied up. And a lot of that, there was a script, there was a written monologue. And we talked about it. We were like, just try things. I mean, we shot it in sort of these tableaus, two from the profiles and then one, and then two again, front and back, centered. And the frames were generally wide enough where we didn't really have to follow him for the most part. And we loosely blocked it. I mean, it was just a triangle setup with him, and then the two chairs in front of him kind of outward, left and right. And he would just move around whichever way he wanted to. I didn't tell him, like, on this line, you got to step in and you got to lift Emmy. He kind of just added things, and it was so much fun to watch and play around with.
Yeah.
That was a very stressful and difficult scene to do.
Yeah.
That's the most I've ever been, was ever stressed on the set.
Really?
Well, we were just like, I thought it was going to be an easy scene to shoot. Yeah. I didn't think that was going to be, because it's like, in my head, I was like, okay, Blake and Natalie get to sit in a chair. Granted, as long as he knows his line,
right,
he gets to just do it, and we'll shoot it in 4 to 5 setups and run each setup like 3 to 4 times. It's going to be easy. And it was the most, partly because we shot it after lunch on the second half of the day, and the first half of the day we shot the scene prior, which was when Reed kind of falls over in his chair,
right,
and everything, the whole house comes down. It's like we get the revelation of why Emmy's really here and who Preston is. We shot that scene first,
right,
which was completely the opposite of the torture scene. That was very specific. Like, you had to step in, we had to tilt down all the way with you so you could talk to Reed face to face.
Right.
We needed the sideways POV of Emmy when they connect. It was very, very complex. And the pen stabbing, I mean, that was very precise.
Yeah.
In terms of where the footing had to be for them, distance to the tripod. And
can I ask you about that chaotic screaming match? That was an interesting confrontation.
Honestly, I remember that was last day shooting. That was the final scene that we shot.
Oh, wow.
And we shot this over 2 weeks, nocturnally, because the house had way too many large windows for us to garbage bag it.
So it was always a night shoot?
Always a night shoot.
Man.
We went totally nocturnal for 2 weeks straight, and we all went insane.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you get used to it. Oh God, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But it definitely, people are, certainly by the end of the first week, I mean, you're wasted.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just like, but that was the final thing we did. And it was a thing that Peter and I come up with. We knew we wanted the big moment at the end, and the justification was for that moment, which obviously I can't really talk about, but
right.
Reed needed to do something to save his daughter, and he's completely incapacitated.
Well,
what does he have left? to do.
It was almost,
you know what I mean?
It was almost like there needed to be a physical confrontation between the two characters, and you had to develop a way to do that without going to a full on out bare fist fight or anything like that. But you could, because the story elements cause it where that's not going to be appropriate. But instead you came up with another way, and that screaming match was kind of interesting. So I just thought that was
I remember being behind the monitor and watching these two guys scream at the top of their lungs at each other.
Yeah.
In this tight garage where the acoustics are just like ear piercing because it's all concrete.
Right.
Concrete and drywall, I suppose. But I remember being behind the monitor and thinking mid-take very vividly. I remember thinking to myself, what in God's name am I making? I was like, this is absurd. But, for me, it came down to survival instinct and on Reed's side. And on Preston's side, I love that he took more interest in the screaming match than, killing Emmy in the moment as sort of a ego,
right?
A combat of ego. It's like, oh, that's how loud you can go? Well, guess what? Check this out.
Yeah.
If I love that sort of male
the alpha
ego
dominant stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can scream louder than you.
Yeah.
100%.
Well,
because at that point he's gone completely nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I won't pry any more of your story out from you. It is a good movie, and I think people should watch it and enjoy it for what it's worth. But I do want to ask you some questions about behind camera. Let's start with your lighting scheme. Exactly what kind of lighting theory did you use for your film?
Lighting gear?
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, did you use 3-point lighting, or were you more of like a natural kind of attempt at trying to keep lighting? And then obviously you pushed blue coloring a lot. Was that in production, or was that mostly post-production?
That was mostly post. We shot it red raw and graded off the log. So we definitely pushed it from the baseline. But when we had a LUT on set, which showed us roughly what the contrast and color was going to be, as in terms of the lighting, no, I despise with the entirety of my existence 3-point lighting.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of the worst kind of. I mean, there's a time and place for it. I'm happy it exists.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it looks in. I kind of love. I love how you don't have to light that much for digital.
Right. Yeah.
I've shot both film and digital, and kind of like the rule of thumb is like you can blow out film because it handles highlights better, which is why, and the speed of the stock at the time. It's like you need all this gear.
Right.
And my philosophy is more people, more problems, more gear, more problems.
Yeah.
And when, I will never shoot film. I'll never do it. I shot some in film school because I was like, I wanted to see what that was all about. But my thoughts were confirmed on it when I realized
it was
just
good.
How much,
and most upcoming filmmakers do shy away from 3-point lighting. And I think it is an appropriate scheme for, especially indie film. And you can accent stuff a lot better and make your environment be as you need it to be.
Yeah.
I don't.
And also, sorry.
I'm sorry. We got about 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
So we got to move along. Let's
move along.
I just want to open the floor to Mitch and Tom if they got any questions for you.
I mean, the only question I had is, this is your very first feature-length film that you've ever made as a director. And I just want what was the biggest unforeseen challenge that kind of crept up in the production of this, that you just didn't really see that as an issue coming?
Honestly, it was the night shoot.
Yeah,
we didn't see that coming.
Nobody ever does, man.
Nobody expects the night shift.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was there. I've been there with you, man. I totally understand. So, sorry to cut this short, but Hey, man.
No,
we really,
that was great.
We really appreciate you coming on, and we'd love to do this again. Maybe pick your brain as like the up-and-coming expert, when we have questions about why big-time movies do stupid stuff in the future or do amazing stuff. We could phone an expert, so to speak. So if you don't mind.
Well, I don't know that I'm an expert yet, but
hey.
give me a couple more decades, and maybe I'll,
You are in our book. You made a feature film. That is phenomenal. I mean, nobody can really appreciate that until they at least attempt, do some short work or whatever. So that's awesome stuff.
Very well said.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you guys very, very much. This was great.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll hope to have you back. And maybe your sister or I already forgot his name. Blake. Yeah. And I'd really appreciate talking to them about their work in it too. So
absolutely
put in a good word for us. So
no, please reach out. No, that'd be great. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I love your guys' show. It's so much fun.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. All right. Well, good luck with everything. We look forward to seeing what you got in the future.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right.
It's been a pleasure.
Wired Shut on Amazon.